Jones, I do not want you to worry about today's interview.
No worry. Adam, don't worry, be happy.
I can assure you, not because of her vast accomplishments, of which there are many, which we will talk about.
Yeah.
Not because of that. I can assure you that Katie Dixon is, as we would say at home, good people. Because, Jones, she's from Cary, North Carolina.
Oh, you guys are crib.
The finest town in all of the finest state in all of the greatest nation.
Yeah.
Katie, is it true or false that one of the best Chick-fil-A franchises of all time is run by the Holmes family?
Oh, 100%. Wow. Yes. I didn't know you guys knew the Holmes.
Well, here's the thing.
One of us guys does the cool one.
Oh, I mean.
I'm a South Point Chick-fil-A guy myself, but that's all right. Well, both of y'all like disapprovingly shook your head at me.
I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
It possibly could strive to be elite.
The service is amazing. Like, you cannot get any better.
Get Frankie Kelly on the phone, Adam. He'll get this figured out. We'll get it knocked out.
So, in addition to being from Cary, which we'll discuss, how you feel about Ashworth's closing?
Oh, well, I actually don't know if I know.
Oh, my gosh.
I know that.
Well, we were friends.
Oh, no.
Okay, so Katie's a fake Cary person, but she is for real on the field hockey team, currently ranked number 2 in the country. They open their home schedule finally today.
Yeah.
Why has it been so long since you played at home?
I know. It's crazy. We're so used to playing at home, too. It's so nice these past couple seasons being able to play so many home games, but like halfway through the season, or not halfway, 4 games in, but normally we're used to having a home game, so we're excited to open up here soon.
Tell us about the beginning of the year. You guys have been all over the place. Didn't play this past weekend, but just take us through kind of what has been going on, what you feel like has gone well, what you guys have been working on.
Yeah, so we opened up back up in Michigan, and that was a great weekend. We came out solid. I feel like a lot of people, you don't really know what to expect after a team that's just won the national championship.
Sure.
So we had a lot of expectations, but I think we opened up solid versus Michigan and Iowa, won both. Handled Iowa pretty easily, so we were thrilled about that weekend. And then last weekend with the ACC Ivy League with Louisville in Louisville, we took away a lot of things from that weekend. We learned a lot and grew as a team. So I think we're continuing on that upward trajectory, which we're excited about. Then this past weekend having off, that's kind of rare for us. So I feel like we didn't know what to do, but we still hit it hard on Saturday with a blue-white scrimmage, which we love doing. It's really competitive.
Like, is the blue-white scrimmage as competitive as some games you guys play? And I don't say that to put down, like, any opponent. I just mean you guys do have such talent.
Oh, yeah. And, in fact, in that scrimmage, Erin played with us. Like,
Nice.
She's like, I'm going to hop in. Like, and, of course, I mean, it's Erin Madsen, so you're playing against the best as well.
Sure.
And playing against our own teammates, too. Like, we raise that standard, and we treat it like a game. Like, we have full warm-up, everything. Coaches, we have the breaks in between, and we have to lock in. So it's no off day. We hit it hard. So,
do you wear your various collection of championship rings just around campus?
Sometimes I do. I actually have a couple on right now. Like
Nice.
These are just our wear around ones.
These are my casual championship rings.
But yeah, a lot of us do wear them just every day, which is I don't want to flex, but it's like cool to be able to wear them around. So yeah.
So the standard is so high for Carolina field hockey at this point. I mean, multiple. What is it? 5 of the last 6? Is that right? National championships? Do I have that right?
Yeah.
I mean, so what's the motivation? How do you hit that standard so repeatedly?
I think that's something different each year that we have to discuss, because it's like, okay, what is our goal for this year? We always have like a motivation, and bringing new freshmen in, it's always a new dynamic. So we really have to navigate that each year, and we do sports psychology as a team to try to figure out, okay, what's this team's dynamic and what's going to motivate us the best to accomplish what we want to. So it's really evaluating that each year, and we're still trying to figure that out this year.
Yeah.
I think bringing in new people always adds a new dynamic, but we always stay true to Carolina field hockey's values, and I feel like that's something Coach Shelton has done well. But also Erin's taken that over and really try to embody like those values and stay true to what Carolina field hockey is.
What do you consider those values to be?
Yeah, so a lot of them we go through actually one each week towards the beginning of the season. So right now we're on curiosity. So trying new things on the field, not being afraid to show what you have individually and what you can bring to the field. But overall, it's just that standard for excellence. Like ever since the freshman year, like, you know that you're coming in to play for UNC, like you have to be on your game and constantly striving to get better individually off the field so that you don't like mess up in practice or like, it's a high standard during practice. So I think that's what makes UNC special. We treat practice like a game, and it's if one drill goes wrong, like you can tell people aren't happy. So.
Cary, while being a beautiful town, is not necessarily a field hockey hotbed. No. How did you get into field hockey?
Yeah, so in 6th grade, I grew up going to Cary Christian, and they started a team, and they're like, okay, we're gonna start a field hockey team. And I was like, I don't even know what this sport is, but I grew up playing basketball and soccer, and I just love sports. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try, see if I like it. And I ended up loving it. It was kind of weird. So because everybody, whenever I would tell them I played field hockey, they were like, what? What is that? But then coming to Chapel Hill, I grew up at Tar Heels since both my parents went here, and they had a field hockey team. So I remember going to my first game and be like, this is what I want to do. So
how many times do people get women's lacrosse and field hockey confused?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot, yeah.
It's a women's team and they are carrying sticks. I understand that, but it's a different sport.
I know, it's crazy. When we travel, we get okay, funny thing, this past weekend, a lady asked if we played baseball. I'm like, baseball? What? We've gotten lacrosse, yeah, soccer, and we were all like, did she say baseball? So yeah.
We are a traveling collegiate women's baseball team.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing exhibitions across the country.
I am the shortstop.
Yeah, exactly. We were all laughing so hard. But yeah, we've gotten a lot over the years of what people think we are. But
how did you figure out that you were not just good for Cary, which I think is a different kind of good, but good, I could play at Carolina good?
Yeah, I think going into high school, I knew that my skills, whenever I would go to these tournaments for field hockey, my skills weren't up to what everyone else's was, because I would only play once a week, because field hockey was not super popular. And I think playing basketball and soccer, I became an overall better athlete. And I think that's what, whenever I would go to camps and stuff, coaches would see the athletic potential, and I still would work on my skills all the time on my own. But I think that's also what put me apart, is just field vision. And even right now, I would say one of my strengths is just anticipation and just the athletic part of it. And my skills are I've worked on them a lot. But I think that's what kind of set me apart in high school, is just being fast the ball, always putting 100% effort into things, aggressive. And that's what Coach Sheldon, I think, first saw in me, just the athlete. And then she's like, the skills can come, you can work on those. And I think when I would go to these camps and clinics, that's what coaches would see. So I think that's kind of what set me apart. And then going into high school, working and honing in on my skills was something that I had to do individually coming from Cary. So.
That's interesting. So were you ever, I don't know if nervous is the right word, but you're going to these camps and there's people who this is what they do, and they are, was that difficult?
It was difficult, but it also motivated me to put in the work off the field. So I wouldn't say I was an awful fit. I was still good.
Right.
No.
You were how do I do this?
Yeah, exactly.
Is this baseball? What are we playing?
No, yeah, exactly. I was still, but yes, it was an intimidation factor, because a lot of the girls from my team right now are from a club called WC Eagles, and they practice 3 or 4 times a week, and their skills are insane, because that's when you practice something that much, your skills should be that good. So whenever those girls definitely would stand out at those as well, but it was in a different way. And so I think that's definitely something that I had to take into consideration. It made me motivated to work even harder, because I'm so competitive. So
sure.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a tough day on the field and be like, all right, let's go do a free throw contest?
Yeah. PKs, ladies, let's go.
No, exactly.
So it's an interesting, this is a story that is a year old now, but I still think it's an interesting dynamic that your head coach was a part of the team the year before. Has that become natural? Is it,
No,
or you guys were used to it at this point? Is it still,
It's
and
still,
was it ever weird?
Oh, it definitely was weird. The first couple months, we were all it is weird from playing with her
Sure.
to then being coached and being under that authority. But Erin did a really good job of we all respect her as a player, but she took that role so naturally, and she's so well spoken, as you guys have probably seen. So I think the first couple months it was definitely an adjustment. It was kind of funny sometimes. Like on the field, we'd get being like chewed out, but it's like, okay, we deserve it. Like, you know, it was nothing like awkward. Like on the field, like we all respected her. And even now, like we have those moments where I still think back, I'm like, whoa, like I've played with her. Like this past weekend when she put on like the practice uniform to practice with us, it felt like so normal.
Right.
But some of the new freshmen were like, this is crazy. Like we're playing with Aaron, you know, it's like, it's weird. But I think definitely it's been a smooth transition, but yeah, you definitely have those moments where like, wow, like this is special. So.
Winning doesn't hurt either, right? That probably helped.
That definitely helped.
Yeah,
that definitely helped a lot. And I think that both helped Aaron and our team like gel better together, because when you're winning, it's much easier to overcome that. So
You've already graduated.
I have, yes.
You majored in statistics and analysis?
Yeah, statistics.
What does that
and
mean?
Well, so, I mean, I knew I was good at math. So I was like, okay, I want to do something with it. And I was thinking about going to the business school, but I was like, I don't know necessarily if I'm super passionate. Like, you have to know what you want to do. And I was like, I don't know. But then I was thinking something in sports statistics. So I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with that. But I've always been fascinated. Like, Moneyball has actually inspired me to, like, do that major. And it's kind of, like, exploding nowadays with all the internet and AI and all of that. So I thought it was a good thing to go into. My parents were like, yeah, you should go for it. So
Okay, Adam has declared that Northwestern and Carolina are by far the best two field hockey teams in the country this year. I mean, that's not to say that the Tar Heels couldn't get tripped up or that a lot of good teams, but Adam feels as though Northwestern and Carolina are the best two at this moment.
At this moment, yeah.
Do you guys pay attention to what they're doing? Because they're currently number one, right?
Yeah.
At least ranking-wise. So do you pay attention to them at all? Do you check, like, the out-of-town scoreboard on the weekend? Like, how do you handle it?
I think for sure. I think all field hockey schools probably do, like, day in and day out. I think it's us, too, that people might be worried about or are worried about. And I think for our team, having the number 2 next to our name fires us up. Like, we want to be number 1, and we always want to be number 1. So I think that provides us motivation. And like you were saying, okay, what's your motivation for this season? That's already provided us some. So it's like, okay, if you want to give us that number 2, like we'll like take that. So I think that definitely does provide our team like the motivation to just keep getting better. And like that's where we want to be in Michigan at the end of the season, where the national championship will be hosted. But Coach Sean would always say the next game is the most important one. And so focusing on the next matchup, I think, is our team's priority and goal, and we always try to stay focused on that. But yeah, we definitely look at those scores and stuff.
Okay, so field hockey is still a relatively, understand that's a relatively younger sport. It's a sport that is still growing.
Yeah.
But to me, as someone who just kind of casually watches it, it does seem like Syracuse and even Liberty, like there are some teams that are getting better.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys seen that? Even in the last like couple years, have you seen that the quality of play is getting deeper across the country?
100%. I think there's new dynamics being played into the game. Like, I don't know if you've watched a lot of field hockey, but aerials is when you can throw the ball like over like the entire team, and sometimes it's considered dangerous, but sometimes not. But like that part of the game, like now people are throwing them all the time just to get over your press, and it's stuff like that where teams are finding new plays and like things to do. That it's just the game is evolving, and it's evolving fast. And I think that's something that we also have to consider when we're watching film. Like, how can we make our team even better? Because the Carolina system has always worked. Like, as you can see, it's brought us a lot of success. But, okay, how can we continue to evolve that? And the coaching staff, I think this year has done a great job of watching those films and scouting those teams well, so that, okay, we know that that's their tendency. But, yeah, these other teams are definitely getting better. Like, we had a lot of close games last year. Like, last year wasn't a breeze at all.
Sure.
So we know that that's going to happen again this season. So just taking that game by game.
How much of Carolina's success is system, like playing a different way, and how much is, guess what, guys, our team's got better players than your guys?
I think it's definitely both. Like we do have a lot of talent, but if you can't do anything with that talent, then it's pointless. So I think our system fits well into the players that we have and like the talent that we have. We always say we're a passing team, and so I think people watch us play and like it is very pretty because we do like to follow our system and pass a lot and use our like we have different system like plays that we do that I think not many people know of. So I think using that combined with our talent is what makes Carolina great. Like if we just had one or the other, we wouldn't be very successful.
Why do you have to water the turf when it's not real grass?
That's literally, I would see like people walking to class like that's never seen field hockey, and they're always like, why are these cannons like shooting off water? Like it's crazy.
Is it just for the ball? I mean,
no, it's for the ball. So like the balls, if you've seen them, they have like little holes in them. So like the ball glides better when it's wet. I have no idea why we do that.
Look,
like,
I'm a stats major, guys, not a physics major.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have no idea, but I mean it's cool. Like today it's raining and like we'll play. So yeah.
Would it surprise you to know that Jones has stopped many shots in goal in field hockey before?
Yeah, that's right. I got this a couple years ago. Yeah, I got Aaron. It was 1-on-1, me v. Aaron, and I did get a couple. Now,
so you clearly won, right?
I would call it a draw. I think it was a stalemate.
It wasn't the demolition that many outsiders were expecting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Maybe.
I earned a nickname, Glove Hand.
Oh.
Yeah, my glove hand was impressive. Don't worry about that.
Oh, there you go.
You don't want to go.
I'll target
hand,
yeah. Target stick side.
Scout me.
Yeah.
You want to go stick side. There's no question about that. What do you like to do when you're not playing field hockey?
Yeah, I'm a very active person, so I love doing anything outdoors. So whether that's pickleball, basketball, spike ball, like literally any game. Like
wait, which one's spike ball? That's the one with the little trampoline?
Yeah, that's and you hit the ball on it. Yeah.
Okay. There's a ball and you spike it. Katie was like, "Oh God, this guy."
You have to explain it's on that note, yeah. But I grew up in a family that we like always play games too, so like board games as well. Like I'm always telling my roommates like, "Ooh, do you want to play games?" Like it's
They're like,
so
Katie,
fun.
it's Friday night. It's 10 o'clock.
Exactly.
You're like, yeah, I've got Monopoly.
Like
guys,
let's play
go.
like right now. So no, people know like I love doing stuff like that. I'm always down for anything. And anything outdoors, yeah. So
what's your number one board game?
Catan. If you tell my family,
I don't even know that is.
You don't. Oh my goodness, it's a great game. It's kind of long, so if you're not a game person, then you probably don't know. But
right.
like,
you might not have the commitment, Jones.
Right.
Is what she's
I
saying.
am undefeated in my family. Nobody's beaten me. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
It's a big flex. So I know. But no, there's a lot of I like Monopoly is also like a good one, but those are kind of long.
Two things. Who's the worst loser in your family?
Probably me. Yeah, I would say, or my sister. My sister's really competitive as well. So she's younger too. So we've always like kind of given her a hard time. But so sometimes she loses too. She's like, oh. Like,
Have you ever lost and then behaved afterward in a way that you thought, maybe that wasn't the best way?
yeah, maybe just like cool off. I think,
Yeah.
but like, yeah,
The cool down.
yeah, exactly. But no, normally like it's when I win. Sometimes it just frustrates my siblings, and sometimes I don't I'm not the humblest around my family sometimes. So I remember one time in Monopoly, like I got like so many $500 bills that I was like, all I do is win and like throw the money, and they're all like Katie, like. So that was not my finest moment at all. But yeah.
Actually, we're charging you rent now.
Yeah, exactly. My parents like, we're not playing this again.
It says in your bio you're a puzzle person.
Oh yes.
Okay, the important question: when you sort out the pieces, how do you sort them?
Oh, well, okay. First, let me ask: do you do puzzles or no?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what's
I'm
your
not a
strategy?
professional.
Oh look.
Yeah,
Katie,
we'll see.
Katie has
We'll see
flipped
if
this
you're
on you.
Okay. First, I'll answer it. We always do the edge first.
Sure.
and
Yeah.
then-
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I
I mean,
not a
duh. Like,
communist.
okay. I didn't know if you were a beginner. You know.
The pieces with the flat side.
But yeah, so we always do that, and then we always sort them by color, or like sort of by color, what design. Me and my mom actually. So each summer we go up 1,000 pieces. So this summer we did.
Right, 20 billion pieces.
No, yeah,
It's called stats and analysis, Jones.
We did. We started about 6 summers ago, I guess, but we did 6,000 pieces this summer, and it covered our entire like dining room table. And we actually had to have another table too to put lay out the pieces on.
Oh yeah.
So
My wife likes to start puzzles, and then sometimes they don't get
get finished.
Right. But currently in our den, we have, I think it's 3 different tables set up with puzzle pieces on them in an active puzzle.
Is
There
that
you
3
go.
different puzzles?
Oh yeah, I was
Oh,
about
no,
to say.
it's
Oh,
one
I was like,
puzzle.
wow, that's impressive. Like
Yeah.
3 at once.
No,
but-
one puzzle. Okay. Now, I have said this before, and people act like I was crazy. So this is how I sorted the pieces, Katie.
Okay, let's hear it.
Right-weighted.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, obviously the edge first. Then I do it by shape. So you get the ones that have
okay.
the four little circles.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you get the 3 circles, the 2 and the 1.
Okay.
And then if there's any that don't have any. So then while you're doing it, you can know.
Okay, I'm looking for one of these pieces.
Yeah. Just give it a shot. Like
I'll
this
maybe
upcoming
try it
summer.
out. Yeah.
Maybe not the big one that you're doing with your mom. Maybe do like a side puzzle and try it out.
I'm going to do it just for you, Jen.
Thank you. Just try it out.
I'll do it.
I mean, this might be the nerdiest conversation that's
I know.
ever been on the
people
I'm trying to like, yeah, keep
That being said, I haven't told Jones this. I tried that method over the summer, I think.
Works, doesn't it?
It's actually kind of good.
Yeah.
Don't tell him.
Okay.
Once you start doing it, then you're like, okay, I need the piece with the 2 little things. All right, I know where those
I'm
are.
right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, field hockey wise, back on the pitch? Do we call it the pitch?
The field, yeah.
Okay.
Same thing.
Field pitch.
Yeah.
This weekend.
What do you call it?
Yeah,
I say field.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's key this weekend? What's key moving forward for you guys as you try to get to Michigan here at the end of the year?
Yeah. So this weekend, I think Syracuse is going to be a big game. We don't really know what to expect from them. So I think that's always the ACC home opener is a big game and stakes are high. So I think coming out guns blazing first quarter, that's something that we've been working on is like, okay, we have to come out strong because we've had a couple games that has taken us a minute to get into the game. So from the first whistle, that's our focus. And then Liberty on Sunday, they just had a big win versus Duke this past weekend. So Duke was ranked number 4 and they were 12. So we definitely don't want to underestimate them. We're not underestimating any team, obviously, but I think both those games, focusing on one at a time. But it'll be a good weekend for us, and especially coming off an off weekend. Like, okay, how can we come off that off weekend into a game, and then we're gonna have another off weekend. But yeah, it'll be a good adjustment. But excited to see what will happen.